Good morning, Five Links. Come on, you guys can do better than that. Good morning, Five Links. You guys excited? Can we give it back for our president and CEO, Mr. Craig Jerebick? Let's let him hear it in the back. Come on, let's let him hear it in the back, Five Links. Let's let him hear it in the back. Listen, guys, this is the time where we're getting ready to get our student hats on. So I want everybody to make sure you've got your notepad, you've got your pen, and you're ready to roll. Because I always start out, usually when I step on a stage, I want you all to really understand the importance of taking this weekend very seriously. There might be one thing that you're going to hear on this stage from any particular co-founder or any particular leader that trains on this stage. There might be one thing that you needed to hear that will change your business forever. And so you don't need to be in the hallways. You don't need to be back at the hotel. You don't need to be anywhere but in these seats. Because if you're going to be the one to change your family's life, you've got to step up and take responsibility to get that done. So although we're in Tampa, which is a wonderful city, there's a whole lot of fun to have while you're here, we're here for business. We're here not only to take this company collectively to billions of dollars in revenue, but we're also here so that you can individually take your family to multi-millionaire status. Yes or yes? And so we can't play around with that. We've got to really think about what are the fundamental things that we need to do to win. How many of you want to win? How many of you want to become wealthy? Let me tell you something. Many of us that are blessed to be on these stages nowadays, we've been on both sides of the coin. We've been in situations where we didn't have hardly any money. We've been in situations where we were exchanging hours for little dollars. We've been in situations where we weren't exactly sure what we were going to do with our lives. But then somebody ended up making a phone call, or somebody ended up walking up to us, and somebody started talking about the fact that they found an opportunity. And we are so blessed and thankful that that opportunity happened to be what? Five Links. And when I look at my personal life and I look at the fact that we got involved in this company in 2007, coming over here with faith and optimism and hope and desire, wanting to win, wanting to be able to bless some other people, wanting to be able to take this opportunity back to people and know in our hearts that we had something good, know in our hearts that we could really help to change someone else's life, and all we wanted in return from them is to pay it forward and do the same thing. And we ended up getting started in 2007, and I'm telling you right now, looking at where we are today in 2015, not just myself and my beautiful wife, Pasha, but when I look at all the leaders on this front row, when I look at my partner, Barry Donaldson, when I look at EJ and Allen, Ian Chebby, John, I look at all, Tashina and Kurt, I look at Stan and Sharice, two of my best friends. I look at all of these people, Phil Gerdes, everybody up here, Arkell, you know I love you. I look at all these people and I think about how we all started in a very similar manner that many of you started. We all started where someone came to us and shared this opportunity. The difference is, Pasha was talking to a young lady recently, and Pasha had a conversation, and the young lady was asking about Platinum SVP. And she said, well, there's something unique about Platinum SVPs. Each and every one of us understands that nobody else got us to platinum. Nobody else. And that's what you need to understand. If it's to be, you need to understand, you need to say, it's up to me. And you're the only person that's going to determine whether or not you win in this business. So let's talk about some things that I believe are going to make an impact on your life. Let's talk about some of the tough questions. Let's ask some of these questions. And I want you to write some of these down because you need to really be honest with yourself what the answers are. Because when the pain is great enough, you'll change. Look at question number 1. How long have you worked your job? Write the answer down. How much bad debt do you have? There's a big difference between debt and bad debt. Some people are in the real estate business. There's such a thing as good debt. Such a thing as having debt that's making you a positive cash flow. But bad debt is nothing but taking away. How much bad debt do you have? Look at the next one. How much cash do you have in the bank? You can cover your sheet, but write it down. How old are you? You know, I was listening to the radio, and Bishop T.D. Jakes in Dallas said, when you think about what we're all here to accomplish, the one thing that we're all striving for is to maximize our time. It's not necessarily about the money per se. It's about the time. We all have a birthday, and we're all going to have a day where we're called home. So that time in between is so important with what you do. So ask yourself, how old are you? And when you ask that question, how old are you, and you give the answer, I want you to think about what have you accomplished in those amount of years. And look at the last question. If something, God forbid, were to happen to you, would your children and your family be in a good position? That's scary for some people. And if we're going to be honest in this arena today, that's scary for most people. Something would happen to you. What's going on with the family? What's up with the kids? How are they going to live? How are you all going to move forward? How are they going to move forward? Those are some tough questions we have to ask. And a lot of times we avoid even entertaining those questions. We avoid that. So let's look at some answers. Because we can't be scared of the questions. Let's look at some easier questions that can answer the tough questions. Look at this. Can 5 links get you off your job? Yes or yes? Can I hear you, 5 links? Yes or yes? Can 5 links help you eliminate whatever bad debt you have? Yes or yes? Can 5 links help you accumulate cash? Yes. Can 5 links work faster than your current job? Or even your future job, if that's in your future? And then look at the last one. Can 5 links pay you residual income for you and your family to enjoy? Yes or yes? So even though we have to ask ourselves these tough questions sometimes, if we ask ourselves the easier questions, the tough ones don't sound so tough. And when I think about what we do, I mean, this is fundamental business to me. This isn't rocket science. Fundamental business. And here's what I mean by fundamental business. There's 3 golden rules for you to successfully build a network marketing business. Successfully build a network marketing business. Number 1, you must acquire what? Talk to me, 5 links. Wake up. You must acquire what? Absolutely. Everything moves with customer acquisition. Bonuses aren't released unless customers are acquired. Team bonuses aren't paid unless customers are required. Residual income doesn't show up every single month automatically based on stuff you did in the past unless customers are acquired. We've got to make sure that every single one of us has a long-term mindset to get these customers and have these customers paying their bills month after month after month after month, ongoing. And then have people go out and get more customers, and you end up having thousands of people that you've never met paying bills that they're going to pay for every single month on our services and products, and you being the financial benefactor of that. So that's number 1 of the 3 golden rules. Then number 2, you must recruit people into your business. There's no getting around that. If you're going to accelerate through this plan, you've got to realize you have to recruit people. Even if you're not good at it, even if you're afraid of it, even if you don't know how, you better know you've got to learn how. You've got to get people to want to come into your business based on the language that you're able to articulate to get them excited enough to move to action to become your partner. We're going to talk a little bit about this, but you've got to learn that. And number 3, you've got to learn how to maximize the comp plan by building that organization. And you can tie that into the fact that you've got to teach people how to do this business. You've got to become a good trainer. You've got to be able to do, look, it doesn't necessarily have to come from the stage, but you're going to get to that point as well. But you've got to be able to let someone know how he or she can do X, Y, Z and get the results that they're looking for. So those are the 3 golden rules. We must what? Acquire what? We must learn how to recruit, and we must maximize this comp plan and build a what? A team. Those are the 3 golden rules. If you just hold on to those and you do those well, your organization is going to grow. I can promise you that. If you do those 3 things well, you master those 3 things, I promise you your organization is going to grow. Promise you you're going to get promoted. Promise you you're going to increase your income. I promise you that. But there are a whole lot of other things that you're going to have to start to become good at. Whole lot of other things that you're going to need to work on as an individual. Whole lot of other things that are going to help to complement and push forward those 3 golden rules. So let's talk about a lot of different things that come with it, because this is about self-development. Every single one of you has to work on you. So I want to talk about this wheel to wealth, all these different things that you can do to change your business for the better. Number 1, have you set your goals? This is where people start to fail immediately. They don't set goals. So when I think of setting goals, here's what I want everybody in here to realize. The first thing you ought to think about are the 3 golden rules. So if you know you've got to get good at getting customers, you've got to get good at recruiting, you've got to get good at building a team and maximizing the comp plan, well then, when you set some goals directly related to the 3 golden rules. It's not rocket science. What do I mean? Look, customers. Let's just talk a little bit about some customer goals. Now, these are just off the cuff. There's a lot of stuff you can set your own goals with or for. How many customer points are you personally going to acquire? There are a lot of new people in the room today. You've got to ask yourself, how many customers will I be responsible for? How many am I going to get? Forget what anybody else does. How many am I going to get? Because you need to understand that duplication starts with you. So you've got to lead by what? Lead by what, family? Example. How many are you going to get? When do you plan on hitting this goal of the amount of customers points that you need to acquire? When is it going to happen? Put a date on it. A goal without a date, it's a wish. So put that date on it. I'm going to have 25 customer points, 50 customer points, 100. I think Senior Vice President Dr. Jasper Brewster has 200 customer points. That deserves a round of applause. 200 customer points. So find out when you're going to hit that goal. Put the date down. Look at the other one. Which product and or service, because now we've got a whole slew of products that we can market and services. Which ones do you feel compelled to sell? Which one resonates with you that you feel like you can do well getting people to try this service or try this product? Which ones? Narrow it down so you don't feel like you're overwhelmed. And get good at the ones you choose. Who are you going to target? We all know in this business, target your family, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors, people you have relationships with. So target them. Don't be afraid to approach these people. Sometimes the family members, and most of the time, they're the ones that give us the hardest time. But guess what? Practice on them. But who do you need to become a customer first? Say it loud, 5 Links. Yourself. You got to become a customer. On what? I say everything. Some people say, well, I can't afford everything. That's exactly why you need to become a customer on everything. Because if you're thinking in lack and you're thinking what you can't afford to do, you're going to duplicate that through your organization, and bills are going to always be tough to pay. So if you can't afford to get on all the services, sign up for them all. And do your best to get them all paid every month. Because guess what's going to happen? People do what you do, not what you say. Your organization starts duplicating that, guess what? Your bills are paid. When will you complete your list of these potential customers? Write everybody down. Why? Because if you don't write them down, you're going to skip some people. Write them down and then go down the list, starting with number what? Number 1. And however long that list is, you keep going until every single name on that list has been contacted. That's for customers. What about for partners? Look at some goals that you should set for that. And there are many other goals you can set. I'm just giving you some. Look at this. How many partners do you personally want to recruit by year end? Personally. We were in a leadership training last night, and Senior Vice President Anthony Boyd stood up and started talking about the fact that when we look at work ethic, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but we look at work ethic in this business, a lot of times we're taught, or a lot of times we even teach. How many people are you talking to on a daily basis? You talking to at least a couple people every day? Well, his mindset was a little more elevated than that. He said, look, why can't we all set a goal to recruit 2 people every single day? Let's raise the bar, 5 Links. This isn't difficult. How many total team members are you going to like to have by the end of the year? This is January 2015. We've got the entire year ahead of us, yes? How many partners do you want actively working your business by December 31st of this year? Write the number down. Start thinking forward. Start projecting what's going to happen. Start speaking it into existence. When will you complete your list of warm market? Why? To get them off the list. The whole purpose of a list is to clear it. Who cares what their response is? It doesn't affect you. It may affect them. It doesn't affect you. Nobody said that your next recruit's name has to be John. Nobody said your next recruit's name has to be Michelle. You just want to put names of everybody you know down on the list. Your job, get them off the list. How do you get them off the list? Sort them either in or out. You can't have them dangling. You can't have them straddling the fence. They're either in or they're out. And does it matter to you? No. You might think, what do you mean it doesn't matter, Steve? We get paid when people come in. It doesn't matter to you who it is. Because once you go through that warm market list, look at the last question. When do you plan on transitioning into and mastering the skills of cold market? You can't run out of cold market. No such thing. You go through all your family members, I can tell you right now, almost all of my family members passed up on this business. A lot of people don't know I've got a twin brother. Most of the 5 Links family doesn't even know that. We're 6 minutes apart. Ask me, is he in this game? No. Ask me, do I still love him unconditionally? Absolutely. Ask me, did it affect me and stop me because my other half didn't want to do it? No. He looks at it as this is Steve's thing. I look at it as, man, you missing out. Still love him, but that'll knock some people out of the game because you're trying to personalize who gets in your business. What about compensation goals? When do you plan on hitting your next position? When are you going to upgrade your pen level? When are you going to do? San Antonio, I love that. Whatever position you are at right now, what are you going to do to get to that next level? When is it going to get done? Write the date down. How much money would you like to make on an ongoing monthly basis, on an immediate basis? How much would really change your life? How much would just excite you? How much would make you excited about 5 Links? Is it $1,000 a month? $5,000 a month? Is it 10 grand a month? Is it 20 grand a month? How much money do you want to make? Stop being afraid to talk about that. We put these stigmas on, talking about money and like it's bad or it's the root of all evil and all this mess that broke people make up. How much money are you going to make? And what position does it take to get to that level of income? That's simple to me. You want to make $5,000 a month? I'd say just off the top, you need to at least be a national director. Why? Because you can realistically make that at that position. It's more difficult at ED. It's even more difficult at ET. It's impossible at IMR. So if you want to make $5,000, get the heck away from IMR. So let's start talking about all these different things, family. We're going to talk today. We're going to learn today. What's your work ethic? I mentioned that whole thing about 2 a day. Look, sign up to a day. If you're not at that level where you're not good enough to articulate this and have people gravitate to you, well, then start with the rule of peak 2 people every day. Because, see, there's a definition of work in this game. Work in this business, signing up partners, signing up customers, training others to do the same. That's work. If you're not signing up customers, signing up partners, and teaching the partners how to get these customers and partners, you aren't working. You could be in the business, but the business is not in you. I mean that respectfully, but it's true. We've got to look in the mirror and start asking ourselves these real questions. Are you working your 5 Links business? People say, yeah, I'm at the national, but have you talked to somebody since you've been here? Have you signed up a customer since you've been here? Have you signed up on the fuel? Have you done what you're supposed to do? Have you led by example? So what's your work ethic? Are you going home and making sure you're on the computer, going through what you need to learn in the back office? Work ethic. And implement what you learn by action. What about a clear vision? Folks, some of you right now, if you're working a job, start to have a clear vision of what it's going to feel like to not have to punch a clock. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no better feeling than to wake up and your first priority, if you're blessed to have children, is to just get them off to school safely. You're not worrying about where you got to scramble and get to. You're getting the kids on the bus. Or if they're older, you're just making sure that they're doing okay. Start having a clear vision. What is vision? It's being able to see things that have not yet happened and to see them clearly. What's it going to feel like when you can wake up and not have to go somewhere that you don't want to go? Not have to look outside and see snow in some markets and still have to go to work. Have a vision. I remember not only having my vision of not ever wanting to work a job again, being able to come up, wake up, do what I want to do, have infinite amounts of money coming in, but then my vision started to expand into other people. I started having a vision of I can't wait until the day I can purchase my mother a car. That was one of the best days of my life when I surprised my mother with a Jaguar. Big red bow on it. She was in shock. That's her favorite thing. It's not to put emphasis or value on material things, but the smile on her face. Because all through my life, I heard her say, one day I'm going to have one of those. One day I'm going to drive one of those. I'm going to get one of those. And then on her 70th birthday, I realized that the one day wasn't coming if it was up to her to do it. No disrespect to my wonderful mother, but I said, if it's to be, it's up to me. And I got it done. But I had a vision of that early on. What about managing your emotions? Some of you are on this emotional roller coaster right now. Highs and lows. We know the whole objective of this business is to get people. So guess what? You're going to go through emotional roller coasters doing just that. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to see a sharp person out somewhere. And guess what you're going to say to yourself? Oh, man, I need to pique this person. He or she is sharp from head to toe. I need to talk to this person. Okay, what am I going to say? Okay, what were they saying in the scripts in Tampa? I know I was learning that. Man, this person looks like they could be a platinum SVP. Then you turn around and they're gone. You were excited about the fact you saw somebody. You looked up, they're gone. You're like, dang. That was D-A-N-G. You say, you know what? Let me just go on and head home. You get on the elevator. You get on the elevator, as soon as you get to your floor and it opens, that same person standing right there on the phone, texting. You're thinking, all right, I got a second shot at this. You pique that person's interest. You do a great job. You learn what some of these leaders have taught you. You do a great job. And they exchange cards with you like, yeah, I'd be interested in hearing what you're doing. You're thinking, yes, got this person's number. You call that person, look, we're having a meeting right this Tuesday at 7:30. Come on by. I'll be there. Yes. This person, sharp, reminds me of some of these people on the front row. Tuesday night comes around, 7:25. 7:30. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Don't start yet. Don't start just yet. I got somebody coming. Hold on. 7:40. Look, it's cold out there. We can start 7:45. That's cool. A little buffer. 8 o'clock, no show. 8:30, meeting's over. You standing there, no guests. Where are you now? Back down. You get home like, man, this thing ain't working. I'm tired of this emotional thing. You get home, you check your cell phone voicemail. Hey, Steve, look, man, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to make it. I made a wrong turn, man. Then I ended up getting tied up. My tire got flat. I was so upset. I was doing everything to try to get there. I can't wait to see what you guys are doing, man. When is the next meeting? You're like, cool. They come out to the next meeting. I'm ready to get in. Yes, I knew this person was it. They get in, and then a week later, they join the witness protection program. You back down. You got to learn to have an even keel and not worry about what others do. What's another one? Have great people skills. I think of some of the senior vice presidents in my organization like Chuck Harden, Rick Harden, Sean T. Hill out of Atlanta. I'm telling you, when it comes to people skills, they're going to have a good time no matter what's going on. People like to be around other people that are having a good time and having fun. People like to be around people where they feel better in your presence than they do when they're not around you. That's people's skills. Are you working on you? What about commitment? Well, I just skipped that accidentally. Can we go back to commitment? Listen, commitment, this is a simple one, folks. Human beings know how to commit. I train this all the time. You already know how to commit. The sad thing is that we commit to things that aren't going to make us millions of dollars. We commit to things that aren't going to change our lives. Like what? A job. You might say, I'm not committed to my job. Yes, you are. You set that clock every single morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. When it rings, you up. You weren't through sleeping, but you still jump up. You go through the natural hygiene. You're getting dressed, and then you go to work. You start getting that nauseous feeling because the smell of the building drives you nuts. But you still go. Boss is telling you got to do this, that, and the other. You don't like him, he doesn't like you, or you don't like her, she doesn't like you, but you still do whatever he or she requests of you. Why? Committed. Why? You don't want to lose your job. So you're committed. It's like robotic. You do whatever you got to do to go to work. Snowing outside, so what? Get some boots. Raining outside, let me get an umbrella. Flat tire, let me take the bus. Committed. Why? Got to be at work. Then somebody says, you coming to the National? Man, when is that, in Tampa? Nah, I'll catch the next one. When's the next one? That's what people do. Commitment. What about losing your organization? You afraid of that? That doesn't bother me one bit. People call been out of shape, frantic about who left. Listen, I've never heard of one person that's left 5 Links. Put this on tape. I've never heard of one person leaving 5 Links and doing better somewhere else. Put that on the internet. Put that on the internet. Go right ahead. Do your thing. And we ain't mad at you. Losing your organization. Let me tell you something. We've lost platinums. Platinum SVPs lost sight and left. And God bless her, but she's still not doing what she wants to do financially in this industry. And I still love her. But made a bad mistake. Costly mistake. What about personal development? Who are you listening to? Who's feeding your brain? Are you listening to stuff that becomes nutrients? Or are you listening to stuff that's toxic? Are you listening to polluted stuff? Are you watching stuff on TV that's not going to get you to the next level? You turning on the radio and hearing that stuff. You watching the news and going to bed and your subconscious is hearing about who got killed, who got stabbed, who got scammed, who is downsizing. You hearing all that stuff in your subconscious and you wonder why you wake up with a headache. Start listening. Find you an MLM mentor. Listen to them. Are you developing leaders? I think of leaders in my organization. I think about Mondez Holloman, Kayla Holloman. I think about them when I think of leaders. Look, chain of command is, do you have some platinums in your group? Well, that's a leader. You got some SVPs? Here's another thing to do on the next level of SVPs. I think about, well, which one of my senior vice presidents are going to definitely every single month I can count on 50 or more reps. I know 50 or more reps are coming out of Austin, Texas through Dale and Yvette Finley. I already know it. I know about 50 plus reps are coming through Alex Carlton out of North Carolina. I already know it. I know over 100 plus reps are coming out of Vegas through Anthony Boyd. I already know it. Why? Because I found some leaders. Then you got to ask this, are you a great presenter? Look, you don't have to be so articulate that people get intimidated because they want to be like you, but you at least have to know how to get the 5 Links message across. Do people want to join when you're finished? That's what being an effective presenter is. It doesn't mean you have to be the best. Look, I want to keep it real simple so somebody can say, I can do that. But when I get finished with a briefing, I know that people in the audience want to roll. Nothing arrogant, I just know that to be true. Which leads to the end of the briefing, which is closing. Are you a good closer? One of the best closers I've ever seen in the game is right here on this front row. I married her. I've seen people at the end of a briefing, I'm not exaggerating. Pasha knows how to articulate fear of loss like nobody I've ever seen. We were in Chicago at one briefing and she started talking, I don't know where this came from. She started talking about how she was going to work with 5 people and 5 people only. First 5 that get started today financially, that's who I'm going to work with. And out of all the hundreds of people that were in that room, she said, I'm going to work with the 5 over the next 90 days, and I'm going to put them in a position for the rest of their life to be changed financially. And whoever those first 5 are, I don't care who they are, people start jumping over chairs, getting to the front, trying to be one of the first 5 apps. That's closing. Do you handle issues effectively, family? Do you handle issues? You're going to get them. So how do you handle them? Look, the buck should stop with you. Somebody brings an issue to me, I always say, let's resolve it right here. Why? I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the issue. Let's spend time on the resolution. Let's resolve this. It's not what happens, it's how you respond to what happens. You have a duplicating machine. One of the reasons that I love teaching the baseball diamond, some of the new people may not know what that is, but I teach, put people on first base, put people on second base, put people on third base, bring them on home. First base, that's a peak interest call. Second base, that's a 3-way call, or being able to, or them to see a presentation, I should say. Third base is a 3-way call with your partner, with your upline. And they come on home. Home is what? I'm in. Sign me up. Are you creating success stories? You better believe it. We got to get back to giving people trophies, get back to inspiring people, give them certificates at the briefing. And then when you come to the big stage, like Frank and Nicole are doing, promoting all kinds of SVPs and a platinum, are you creating success stories? And are you acquiring customers? Folks, this is the meat and potatoes right here. I go back to this again because we've talked a little bit about customers. Because if we're not learning how to get customers, we're not building this business. I'm not interested in anything other than my residual income going up, 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 up. And the only way that's going to happen is for me to teach others to build their residual to go up, 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 up. Look, I need a huge favor from you. Will you be willing to support me in my business, talking to family and friends? I need a huge favor. We still don't deviate from that. Huge favor. Do me a personal favor. Give my service a try. I started a new business. I need your help. I need your support. Stop being afraid to talk to people. Stop being an undercover 5 Links rep. Ask people to support you. Tell them your testimony of what you enjoy about the product. I was never a coffee drinker. My wife is a coffee maniac in a good way. But I was never a coffee drinker until Montevita came out. I drink one every single day. That's why that 6-pack is coming. It's going to be an 8-pack one day. One day I'm going to walk out here and just go, phew. One day. That's vision. Then I want to end with this. What's your IQ level? What do I mean by IQ? What's your I quit level? If you have a level that exists, that's a problem in and of itself. Some people have an I quit level way down here. What do I mean? Somebody doesn't want to be your customer. I knew this wasn't going to work. I can't do this. Folks telling me no. Some people have because a rep doesn't join, I quit level. Oh, man, I can't do that. That's your thing. That's not for me. Oh, man, I just knew that person. He knows everybody. She knows everybody. Man, how am I going to build it if he don't get in? No, this isn't for me. I'm glad I only paid $249. What about somebody gets in and then all of a sudden they decide they don't want to do it anymore? Man, I got more people quitting than I do joining, focusing on all the negative. It's because your I quit level is too low. I don't have one. I don't care who quits. I'm going to tell you someone I learned from personally. I want you to think about this, Five Links. I want to give you a hypothetical example of your I quit level. Let me ask you this. What if you found out you could no longer step foot into the United States of America? What if you found out that 3 years and 8 months you couldn't come to the U.S. to build your Five Links business, and you had to stay on an island? An island where 50% of the time the internet doesn't work. 50% of the time the electricity doesn't work. I know somebody that dealt with that. Never once did he complain. Never once was he discouraged. Never once did he entertain quitting. Never once did he feel like he wasn't going to find a way out. Never once did he feel like he wasn't one day going to set foot on U.S. soil. Never once did he complain. Never once. I talked to him every single day, and never once was he sad. Never once was he discouraged. So I'm telling you right now, you guys got to know what you got your hands on. You guys know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Platinum Senior Vice President, Mr. Dwayne Johnson.
I guess it's only appropriate to repeat something I said from the main stage in 2009. What's up, Five Links?
My income.
Excellent, you guys. I just have a couple of minutes to share. Of course, I'll get a chance to share a little bit more of my story. I appreciate all the welcomes. I was a bit nervous coming in here. I had no clue how everybody would actually accept me. And it has been overwhelming. I can tell you that. May of 2011, we were on an SVP excursion in Europe, and I think it's right on my Facebook page. We had hit Platinum SVP. We were right there. We hit Platinum, and the very next morning, I was sitting next to William Fawcett, and I looked at my phone. Actually, I think it was 2 points shy, and I showed him the phone. I was like, "Bro, I'm about to hit." And when I refreshed the phone, it said Platinum. And I can remember Alan and EJ standing up in the bus saying, "Man, congratulations." And not only to know that I would go from that elevation to 9 hours later, getting to the border in Philadelphia, and to have the U.S. Customs agent, it was almost like the gentleman I was dealing with, it was fine. I had everything to show him, but his boss, for some reason, I don't know, he Googled my name and all type of stuff came up, and it was almost like he had an attitude towards my success. Now, the other guy, he told me to tell him more about Five Links. And so, long story short, what ended up happening, that's the only place in this entire country that a lawyer doesn't have to be present for them to make a judgment. And the gentleman told me that he was going to send me back to my home country, not deport me, but I had to refuse my right to enter the United States, and I had to go through a whole legal battle. The first year I spent $100,000 trying to get back through lawyer fees and so on and so forth, but the toughest call I had to make. The toughest call I had to make was to my family. My daughters couldn't understand what had happened to Daddy. They couldn't understand it. And I was in the Bahamas, and I just told them, I said, baby, trust in me and trust in God. And, it'll work out. And in 2 weeks, we had to take the babies out of school. We had to bring them to the Bahamas. I bought a beach house. We put them in private school, and life was different. I had nothing. Matter of fact, I'm going back to Fort Lauderdale after this convention to see everything I had in my home there. For 4 years, I haven't seen them. When I got to the Bahamas, I had to start all over again. My expenses went from about $6,500 a month to over $18,000 a month. I had a power bill that went from $300 to $1,500 a month. And if it was not for this company, If it was not for this company, I don't know what I would have done. At any minute, I could have gotten an email from this company saying that we can no longer pay you. But Jason, Jeb, William, Craig, they fought tirelessly. And I told them that I would not quit, no matter what. I know it was times with the organization where I just couldn't be there as far as support is concerned. I want to apologize to you guys up front for not giving you guys, I did everything in my power, but it was just certain things I just could not do. And I know there's a lot of people I have to get back to, and I really appreciate you guys, but I want to share something with everybody. Since I've been gone, this is called a high-class problem. Since I've been gone, I've been out of the country building business longer than I've been in the country building business. And since I've been gone, this company has paid me more than $1 million. Now, I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm saying that to make a point. My situation was I had to use the 5 Links debit card. So my younger brother in the United States, he had to pull the money off. It was all in cash. They closed my bank account down because $1 million in cash went to the bank account, and they thought with some shady actions going on. But we made it through that. We got to the Canadian marketplaces. The gentleman standing right here in the front, I'm telling you, I am indebted to you, Mike Barron. I thank you so much. And my family thanks you. I got phone calls about almost every other company to join them. It was companies ready to write me $1 million check just to join their company. But I made a commitment. I always finish what I start. I made a commitment to this company. Five Links pays for my vacation. I don't need a paycation. I'm working on a body by 5. I don't need a body by 5. I'm here to tell all of you guys this. We have something special. I've seen some guys that I've worked with personally. I've seen them on the other side of the fence, the grass looks greener. But I'm telling you this, we have a loyal leadership base behind us. This company is so blessed. Anytime a door closes, a new door opens up again. Some of you guys are still looking, hoping, wishing, and praying for something to come your way. And here it is. You're in it. Stop looking left. Stop looking right. I'm testament that 4 years gone, I am still here, and this company is still paying myself and my family. And I want to give some special thanks really quick, and I'll wrap it up. Of course, I hate starting to call names because I end up leaving some people out. But of course, Steve and Pastor Carter, I'm telling you guys this, I love you to life. If it was not for you guys, I don't know where I would be. I was in the back of a U-Haul truck when I met these guys. And Steve reached out to me. Pasha always treated me like I'm literally brother and sister. I want to thank you guys so much. Frank Kimbrough, man, I really want to thank you, man. I mean, just being able to sit back and watch what you've done over the last couple of years. And just picking the phone up sometimes, Frank. Just saying, man, just checking on you. You have no idea how far that went for me. It was short conversations, but man, I absolutely love you for that. I appreciate you. There's so many other people here that I want to thank, but I just want to let everybody know this, that the desire that you have in you, that is confirmation enough from a higher power that he wants for you to get what you deserve. That's enough. And if you don't believe that, when you take your shoes off at night, you make sure to put your shoes way under the bed. Here's why. You have to get on your knees in the morning to go and get those shoes. 5 links, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Also, I want to thank Destry White, Christopher White. I thank you guys so much as my 2 first cousins. Every day we have been together, and these guys were like a crutch for me. And at times I just felt like, I just wasn't going to make it. But 48 hours ago, I got the phone call from the U.S. Embassy. I flew out to Nassau, Bahamas. I had no clue that same day I was going to be in the United States. And so I just want to let you guys know, to all of my colleagues on the front row, I really appreciate what you guys have done for this company. But I just want to let you know that I'm back on the battlefield with you, and let's take this company to $1 billion.